Hi there and welcome to Dukascopy's Week Ahead, where we have a look at some of the key events and news to keep an eye out for this week. I have Allan Von Mehren on the line and he is Head of International Macro at Danske Bank. So first of all, let's have a look at China, where stocks dropped after a two-day holiday amid concern of a bird flu outbreak. China also has some important data coming out this week. Now, do you think this bird flu will continue to have a negative impact on equities this week? And what else should we be watching out for?
Well, I think the bird flu is definitely something that we should watch. It's extremely difficult to have any opinion on. So basically, we just have to follow it closely and see if it's something that spreads more, then it could have further negative impact. In terms of what to watch out for otherwise, we have some important data out of China this week. We have CPI, which is likely to drop after a small spike in February. We should see it come down again after the going into March and the Chinese New Year is over, and there were some temporary price increases related to that. So I would expect inflation to come down to around 2.5% again, and that should give maybe a little bit of a relief to the equity markets that inflation is still fairly subdued in China. And then otherwise we have some export data, import data, and also some more loan data that we have seen quite a strong rise in credit growth in the beginning of this year, and that's something that the Chinese are watching very closely. If that continues to be quite strong, it could mean that we could have tightening a bit earlier.
The Bank of Korea has a rate decision this week. Many are expecting the bank to hold rates. Now, are you also expecting this?
Yeah, we also expect them to hold rates on hold. The currency has weakened quite a bit recently, and that has been one of the concerns that we've seen. We saw quite a significant strengthening of the Korean won, but that has turned around a little bit again. Also, we do still see signs that the global recovery is ongoing, even though it's a bit patchy, and there are some temporary breaks here and there, but overall I think it is the expectation that the global recovery will gain a bit of pace this year, and I think the Bank of Korea is on the sideline now and looking how strong this recovery will be and what's going to happen with the currency.
And now moving over to the Eurozone, Portugal is hitting headlines today. What type of week are you expecting for the Eurozone this week?
Well, I think there's one factor that is having quite a big impact at the moment. That's actually the easing from the Bank of Japan, and that is also leading to quite a big boost in global liquidity, and some of that liquidity is also flowing to the US and to Europe, and I think that's partly the reason why we're seeing fairly decent performance of European bonds, even though we have a bit of uncertainty at the moment with the political situation in Italy. You mentioned Portugal as well, but overall the markets are holding up very well. Italy and Spain have performed pretty good last week and this week. So I think there's a lot of liquidity out there. There's a lot of money that needs to find a home, and that is also, I think, this week is going to keep Europe performing fairly well. In terms of the euro currency, I think the weak data we've seen out of US recently, or out of the US, means that the dollar is weakening a little bit again, and that is pushing euro dollar a bit higher, and that might continue this week as well.
And finally, the US also has some important data out this week, and Obama will be releasing his budget plan on Wednesday. Now, in your view, what will have the most impacts on the markets?
Obama has said he will make some cuts in entitlements, but at the same time he wants taxes to go up further, and that's pretty much what we already know, and I don't think there will be any surprises relative to that this week, so the market impact should be quite limited. More interesting maybe is retail sales on Friday, where we're going to see if there are more signs of this soft patch in the US. We've seen ISM, we've seen employment be a bit weaker in March, and I think these retail sales numbers will give us another piece to the puzzle to see whether the economy is slowing down into the second quarter.
Thank you very much again for participation in this interview. Well, viewers, if you are interested in hearing about the performance of some dollar pairs, then make sure you tune in to my colleague Jennifer Cordinley's Targets and Focus interview. But for now, goodbye.